Okay. Show me.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this Tuesday night? Hope everybody's having a great night. I'm ready to jump back into some SLASHTOBER Slasher Showdown. I didn't even finish the first round yet, but I'm jumping into the second round because I was supposed to go live on Sunday night with Lee McCoy from Drum Dums. Something came up. I had to postpone that until this upcoming Sunday. We will finally knock out that episode. But tonight, first episode of the second round of this tournament, 8 more matchups, 8 more movies going home. So definitely going to need the chat's help on this one tonight in order to let the right movie move on. And I have a special guest here tonight. We've collabed tons of times already, me on his channel, on their channel, excuse me. And I've had them on my channel a few times, more one of them than the other, unfortunately, because the other one's busy working, saving lives out there. But tonight, I got Ken from Sledgehammer Horror. What's up, brother? How are you?
What is going on? Super excited to be here. Been a very, very long, shitty day. So very glad to finally be here doing something cool.
All right. Well, I'm glad that this can make your shitty day a little bit better. We always try. So how this works, obviously, based all the rankings on Rotten Tomatoes. I know Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, we get it. But I combine the average of the critics and the audience. That way it's a little bit more fair. Average them out, and that's how I rank them according to the seeds that they are. We already did 3 episodes. This will be episode number 4. You get a say, I get a say, and the chat gets a say in which movie moves on to the next round. I already posted all of these on YouTube, the YouTube community page, and on Instagram. So the choices have been made on those 2 platforms. So
Okay.
Gonna be interesting to see which movies move on. We have 8 matchups tonight. It's gonna be a fun time. Looking forward to doing this. Let me get my poll thing set up so I don't take 10 hours to do it. All righty. Okay, so some of these matchups are good, some are shitty. It's just the way it is. We've only had one upset so far. Only one. A number 1 seed went down on the first episode. So I mean, it wasn't a fan favorite. It was Stage Fright. So I know a lot of people haven't even seen that movie. So it's understandable that it got eliminated. Have you ever seen Stage Fright?
I have not.
He has not either. It's not
No.
It's an Italian flick. The killer look is cool, but overall, it's just not going to beat some of these movies that are in here.
Sure.
So let me go ahead and go up to my matchup list. There's 8 of them. Oh, first off, foremost, real quick, want to thank the channel members over here on Fauci Cinema. Really appreciate you guys very much. I know I don't have as many as the big channels, but you guys really do.
Every single one makes a difference, man.
Yes,
it really, really does. Thank you
all
guys,
you guys
for
are
being
amazing.
members for him. That's fucking great.
Appreciate the love and support. Most of those are gifted from Courtney Reed, which I'm totally fine with. If you want to keep coming and gifting them, I don't care. Keep doing it. I appreciate it. Everybody that comes and hangs out is fantastic. So before I get started real quick, let's say hello to who's in the chat. We're streaming on both channels tonight, so we wanted to get it out to as many people as we possibly could.
Yeah. If you're here from Sledgehammer Horror, make sure you're subscribing to Fauci Cinema. Make sure you're showing him some love. The guy is one of the hardest working guys in the business, so make sure that you're showing him some love too.
Appreciate that. And if you're on my channel, go over to Sledgehammer and subscribe to them as well, because their subscriber count has grown tremendously. They're killing it over there. So go support them. We have the other horror channel. That's my buddy. He's going to be starting a new channel in October. So looking forward to seeing what he's going to do and bring to the table. Adrian James, what's up? Big Rod, what's going on? Nice Sledgehammer Horror collab. This should be a damn good episode. Well, we're hoping. That's all we can do. Yeah. Eli Cortez, what's going on, Eli? Charles Allen, what's going on, man?
What's up, Charles?
Paul Draws, what's up? Aaron Click, how's it going? Alex Dotwright, what's going on? Let's see who else we got. Herbert, always see Herbert in the chat. What's going on? Nathan Mills, good to see you.
How you doing, buddy?
Jason from Backtrack Cinema, what's going on? J-Man, hope you're doing well. I saw you had you did a watch party for Psycho the other day. Not a fan, but I know you love Psycho, so It's all good. All good. Let's see. We're going to start off tonight. Let me see. Oh, these are okay. We'll go with this one. To start it off. We're going to go with the Fun House, little Toby Hooper action versus
Okay.
Sleepaway Camp 2. Total opposite of the first movie. And we will let the guest, Ken, go first. Which one do you prefer?
Just because it's right up my alley, I got to go Sleepaway Camp 2. And I'm one of the people that really, really dig Sleepaway Camp 2. I don't think it's a bad movie. I mean, it's not what Sleepaway Camp was, but it's by no stretch what Sleepaway Camp 3 or 4 are either.
No.
I think Sleepaway Camp 2 is right underneath of what Sleepaway Camp was. So I'd have to go with Sleepaway Camp 2 in this one.
All right, just drop the poll in the chat, everybody. So please make sure to vote on that one. I used to watch the Funhouse a lot, growing up. For some reason, it was always on like late night TV. I don't know why that was, but I just remember always seeing it on late at night, like, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and always was enamored by it. I love the carnival setting. I think that's a very amazing setting for a horror movie. Personally, I think the creature design, pretty damn creepy. You're not expecting to see that underneath the Frankenstein mask when he takes it off, and then you're like, what the shit? And then, but on the other hand, the kills in this movie, they're kind of weak, to be honest. And the characters, I know it's a slasher movie from the 80s, but the characters are pretty subpar as well, if I had to say so myself. Sleepaway Camp 2, on the other hand, way different than the first one. Not even close to the same thing. This goes for the more fun, upbeat kind of tone. First time I watched it, absolutely hated it. I didn't understand it. I don't know what I was expecting. I really wasn't a big fan of the first one. I know that's sacrilege, but I really wasn't a big fan of the first one either when I watched it.
That's what makes this fun. Like I said, if all of us agreed on everything, this shit would be boring, man. I love when I hear someone doesn't like what I like.
It's grown on me. It has. But the second one, that's more my speed when it comes to a cheesy 80s slasher. It's not serious at all. The kills are just totally outrageous and kind of unrealistic at the same time. But Angela's different. She's fun. She's singing. She's having a good time killing all these kids. And plus, you get Friday the 13th, homages. You get Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw. It's just grown on me tremendously. But if I had to, based on nostalgia alone, I'd probably have to go with the Funhouse.
All right, we got a disagreement right away. I love it.
For me, I'd have to go with the Funhouse. I'm probably going to be alone because I didn't see much love for this movie on either of the polls I posted, unfortunately. But let me see what the poll's looking like. If it's unanimous, I'll close it now. Yep. Unfortunately, it is unanimous. So the chat said 75% for Sleepaway Camp 2, 25% for the Funhouse. YouTube said the Funhouse. Sleepaway Camp 2. And Instagram also said Sleepaway Camp 2. So, unfortunately for me, Sleepaway Camp wins this battle 4-1. And is the first movie moving on to the Slasher 16. So, good for that movie. As cheesy and low budget as it is.
I just want to say real quick, everybody in the chat that's sending me positive vibes, thank you.
Well, I saw that.
So I appreciate it. Yes, I lost my grandmother today. So it's nice to be here with all of you to kind of keep my mind off things. And I'm one of those people that I try to stay busy, not to think about it. I was able to be there with her and hold her hand and tell her goodbye and I love you. And so there is a closure there that she knew that I was there. She knew I was holding her hand. She knew I loved her. She knew what she meant to me. So I just wanted to stop real quick and tell everybody thank you.
You're good, man.
I appreciate it. Like it means a lot. So I still want you guys to think I was ignoring you. Like seriously, like it's really cool for you guys to do that. So thank you.
You got a lot going on. I mean, like I said, you didn't even need to come on tonight, buddy. I totally would have understand. But
it's like I said, it's one of those things where if I wasn't, I would just be laying in my bed crying probably. So this gave me the strength to get up and do something and get, some positivity, like try to combat those demons. I'm sure she's sitting right next to me laughing at what a dork I was at the hospital today. So yeah, so thank you for still letting me come on and still do this.
No problem,
it's
brother.
a huge distraction and I really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Glad you're here. Let's say hello to Brooke. What's going on, Brooke? Good to see you. Blu-ray Addict. What's up, buddy? Cal L. Daly. What's going on? A Night of Horror. What's going on? Welcome in. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us tonight. But that knocks out the first one. And let me get rid of it from the side before I redo it again because we don't want to go over those again. There's so many good ones. I'm trying to. This one's easy right here. Got to do it though. We got Friday the 13th, part 4 of the final chapter, versus The House on Sorority Row, which is not a bad movie in its own right, but it's kind of going up against a juggernaut, so it's not really fair. Yeah. The final chapter was a 12th seed, pretty terrible. Yeah, the ratings were not good. And House on Sorority Row was a 4th seed, so
wow.
Had a good review.
And I think that, but the thing is, Sorority Row, like, it's a very good movie, but Friday 4 for a horror fan is just the perfect slasher. You have antagonist in Jason that is just still downright nasty in this movie. He's still mean. You have protagonists that you can easily root for. Mm-hmm. You have Crispin Glover doing the dance. You got stuff getting put into the computer. You got Tommy Jarvis. It's just, I think that the final chapter, I put it up there, and a lot of people laugh at me, but I put it up there with the original Halloween as like a prototypical. If you're going to show someone how to make a great slasher, that's one of the movies that I would show them.
It's a fan favorite, and in the first round, it had to go up against Jason Lives. So I mean, it's just the way it landed. The people were kind of like, "What the hell?" But it's just the way the movies landed.
Both great movies. Neither one is Jason Goes to Hell, but they're both really good movies.
They're lucky Jason Goes to Hell wasn't in this.
I had to slide. Oh, dude, Jason Goes to Hell would have got wiped out by so quick.
Pretty much by any movie that it went up against, I'd imagine.
Right.
So
right.
I've grown an appreciation of Jason Goes to Hell. If I'm being honest,
that's all I ask, man.
It's just don't watch it as a Friday the 13th movie, and that is how you got to watch it. And it's a good time. It's a good time. The kills are good. The effects are excellent.
Yeah.
The kills are brutal in that movie.
Seeing Jason pop out of that floor in the third act, dude, like that's so fucking. Oh my god, that's such a badass scene.
So what if he was a little demon monster and crawled up his sister's, the J?
We've all been there. You know what I mean?
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah, who hasn't been there? Come on.
So you're going the final chapter. It's kind of not even fair, really.
Yeah.
House on Sorority Row. I watched twice. I just rewatched it about a couple weeks ago just to refresh myself. It's good for what it is. One of those typical kill somebody revenge story movies. It's good for what it is. But I mean, come on. It's Friday the 13th, the final chapter, top of the tier of the Friday the 13th franchise. There's really no way that it could lose. And it's not gonna lose because Instagram picked the final chapter like 98% to 2, I think. YouTube, exact same way. It wasn't even close. And let's see the chat. Okay, that's 80% voted for the final chapter. So a 5-0 clean sweep for Friday the 13th part 4, the final chapter. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's gonna make the final 4 probably, unless something crazy happens.
Right.
But is the final chapter? Obviously, it's like one of the best ones in the franchise. But is it one that you rewatch often, or kind of save it?
I'd say for me, my top 3 most watched Friday the 13th would be 4, 6, and Hell. Like those would be the ones that I think that I always will have a soft spot for 3. I think that
Hell yeah.
Well, it hasn't aged as well. It's the most. It's definitely the one I watched the most as a kid. Was Friday 3. I'll always have a soft spot for 7. Just because like one of my first crushes, Lar Park Lincoln, was in that movie. So, there's a lot that I think I've watched the most. My most watched, and it's not being funny. Jason Goes to Hell is the one I watched the most, followed by 4 and 6. Those are right together.
The final chapter is a good movie, but I just don't find myself rewatching it that much, if I'm being honest.
Well, my favorite movie of all time, like hands down, bar none, my favorite movie is Back to the Future. So seeing Crispin Glover in this movie, like it's just such a polar opposite from being George. Like in this movie, like he's trying to be outgoing and you know what I mean? Like he's just the polar opposite of his character in Back to the Future. So I think that's another reason why I have a huge soft spot for Final Chapter.
I mean, Back to the Future is it's pretty much a perfect movie, if I'm being honest. The first one and the second one, I love them both. Third one, on the other hand, it's fine.
I'm not a huge fan of Mad Dog Tannen myself.
I don't ever reach for the third one unless it happens to be on TV, and then I'll watch it. But no, they're gonna remake it, man. They're gonna remake that movie and just probably ruin it.
I've always said Jaws and Back to the Future are the 2 movies you can't touch. Like you're never gonna do anything with them. I mean, even if you tried to change anything, it's not gonna work.
No, man, like you said, Jaws, that would just be terrible because it's going to be a CGI shark, and it's just not going to look the same. Because I keep watching these newer shark movies that keep coming out. It just doesn't do it,
Right.
It's going good until you see the shark, and then it's like, wow, that's clearly fake. And
they will all be like Back to the Future 2 when the shark comes up to get Marty.
I love that part. God, I'm in the Cubs win the pennant. What? God, I love Back to the Future so much.
If they remake Jaws, I want Rob Zombie to do it and have Sherry Moon be the shark. That's what I'm hoping happens. That gets my vote. That's the only way I'm down for this to happen.
Fuck.
There's a fucking shark.
God, don't. No. That'd be funny. That'd be white trash Jaws. That'd be pretty hilarious. Ain't gonna lie. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. We did. We'll go with this next easy one. This is not even a competition. I'm sorry. We have Puppet Master versus the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. The seedings are Nightmare on Elm Street was a 1 seed. Puppet Master was a 9 seed. It's also not fair, but it's just the way it is, unfortunately.
It's not fair because I absolutely adore Puppet Master, but come on, man. Like, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, the only horror movie I've said could be perfect. If you take out that last 5 minutes of Nightmare on Elm Street, it's perfect. It's a perfect horror movie. So it just doesn't matter. There's no chance that Puppet Master holds a candle to what Nightmare is.
No. And there's oh god. And you thought the freaking Nightmare movies got worse as they kept going. Puppet Master, on the other hand, is real bad after a certain
1
point.
and 2. Yeah, for me it's just 1 and 2. And after 3's okay, but
3's the one with the Nazis, right?
Yeah, that's where you start to get introduced to the Nazis.
That's my favorite one. I think I watched that one a lot as a kid. So that's definitely high. Honestly, Puppet Master scares the shit out of me when I was a kid. Those puppets, creepy as hell. I just thought they're going to come out underneath my bed and screw me. As bad as that sounds. You get it.
That leech lady, man, that always freaked me out when she was dumping the leech in that dude's mouth. Oh, dude. So gnarly. But it scared me as a kid, man. And I think a big reason for that, I was terrified of leeches already from watching Stand By Me. So like you get that scene in Stand By Me where the boys are all covered in leeches and the one takes it off his dong. And then I see it in Puppet Master when she's dumping it in his mouth. I was like, not good.
Yeah. Puppet Master holds a place in my heart for being creepy. But other than that, As a movie, not even close. The score's good. I like the score of Puppet Master. I'll give it that.
Mhm.
And I guess it probably definitely wasn't CGI back then, obviously, because it didn't exist. But
Everything was VFX, man.
The puppets themselves were fantastic. The slow motion movements and all that crap looked great. Yes, Cal says give Puppet Master a trophy for coming, but Nightmare King stop hating on Freddy. Yeah. Yep.
Come on, man. I hate that Freddy Mobile. That thing is fucking stupid. Like, when you have that car, oh my God, it's so dumb. From the moment that car shows up at the end of Nightmare, you have that, like the Freddy car pull up, and then you have the blow up down mom getting sucked through the window. Like, from there, right when you see the Freddy car, it's like, why? Why just end it when the mom gets set on fire?
And I'm not a big Nightmare guy. I'm really not. I mean, I enjoy them. I enjoy most of them, but I'm just not a franchise I go back to at all. So, I mean, I don't really have a nostalgic attachment to Nightmare, but I mean, you got to go with Nightmare on Elm Street in this matchup. So, yeah, Nightmare for you, Nightmare for me, Nightmare from YouTube, Nightmare from Instagram, and yeah. And the poll in the chat, we got 91% for A Nightmare on Elm Street, 9% for Puppet Master. So I'm surprised it got any love, but it did.
Charles Band is secretly in the chat voting.
Probably Christian. But he likes them both, so I guess he wouldn't know which to choose. Blu-ray says, are they still making the new Puppet Master movies, or are they done?
Last I knew, they were done. When I got the Blu-ray box set, we got it because it was part of our offer with Full Moon. If we bought their streaming service, we got the whole Puppet Master Blu-ray set, and that was supposed to be it. So we had the whole set. But I've heard rumblings that Barbara Crampton would like to do a reboot. So
a CGI reboot, huh?
But for me, I think if Barbara, because she's doing Tourist Trap, the new Tourist Trap movie as well.
Yeah.
So if you get Barbara Crampton doing it, I think because she has such a close connection to Full Moon and to Charles Band because of Reanimator and stuff, I think that she would absolutely do a practical cut with real puppets and stuff like they did in the OG.
A new puppet movie is coming. I think I saw a trailer. Really?
There it is.
Wow. And he was also with me on Puppet Master 3, but to not go back to Nightmare is criminal. I just don't care. I don't care, really. It's fine. I know Freddy's an icon of horror. Is he on my Mount Rushmore for me personally? I don't know.
Right.
He's probably sacrilege as well, but I don't know if he is. I just don't. All right, so another easy one. I'm trying. This has been a bunch of episodes with a bunch of easy matchups that had no controversy at all. So I'm trying here. Maybe next round, but this round isn't looking good either.
Dora, if you want, Ashley and I will do a tournament of PG-13 movies. That way we can do all like children's movies too. And then, and a new Tourist Trap. I don't know if because Barbara's saying that it's going to be a requel, like that it's going to continue the story. So I don't know if it's going to be a remake or if it's what she was saying at Horror Hound was she was going to try to make it a requel and continue the story because she's such a fan of the original. She didn't want to try to redo what they did there.
Does he? Does Freddy have the best weapon? Is it because he made it himself? It's fine. What's up, Jigsaw Rules? How's it going? Good to see you in here. Let's see. I'm trying to get a good one, but they're not working out. I don't think this one's going to be a good one either. We got April Fool's Day, starring our girl Ginny, Amy Steele, and Biff from Back to the Future. So another Back to the Future reference here. Sir. And versus The Burning, which classic camp slasher from 1981. We have The Burning is a 3 seed, and April Fool's Day is a 6. And let me put the poll in the chat.
I'm good with the upset here, man. I love April Fool's Day.
You fool.
I know. The Burning's going to win this one, and probably rightfully so. It's probably the better movie. But I grew up with April Fool's Day. I have to go with April Fool's Day, man. Like, it's a movie that Ashton and I still watch every April Fool's Day. It's a movie that, like I said, it was very integral into me getting into comedic slashers. as a kid. And there's still moments that genuinely make me laugh out loud in this movie. And again, I love The Burning, and I think The Burning is, a very quintessential camp slasher. But if we were going by what I think the best movie was, The Burning would get my vote. If we're going by my favorite, I'm going to go with April Fool's Day.
I watched April Fool's Day once, and I did not like it. Ginny couldn't save it for me. Biff couldn't save it for me. I don't like the movies that play that game. Whenever you think it's real, and then it's like, just play, nothing ever happened.
I think the reason that we're different on this is I bet if you watched it as a kid, it would have shocked you. You know what I mean? Like, because as a kid, especially, I'm seeing like this guy with snakes coming out of his mouth, or this guy that gets stabbed, and then all of a sudden they're like, nope. And I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck did they pull that off? How did they plan this all ahead of time to have a fake body of him? But it's a movie, like I said, growing up, I was a huge April Fool's Day fan.
You're probably right though. I only seen this movie about probably a year ago, so I don't have nostalgia for it either. So it's probably why it didn't work for me. Let me see. Herbert says April Fool's Day was clever. Aaron Click says he went with April Fool's Day as well. Jamie Hart saw it in theaters. A lot of love for April Fool's Day. Holy smokes! Didn't see that coming. Let's see. Where's the chat? Poll. It's over. Okay, so you say April Fool's Day. Where the hell is it? Instagram went with The Burning. YouTube went with The Burning. I'm going with The Burning, and the chat also went with The Burning. 71% to 29%.
Hey, I'm happy April Fool's Day got 29, man. I'm a huge fan of that movie, so the fact that anybody agreed that they liked it makes me happy.
So another easy win for one of these movies. This is insane. I'm hoping the Sweet 16 round, people vote differently and it gets split, but this is not working.
Yeah. Right. Like I said, you're going to start getting these movies that everybody loves actually going to, like, if you're going to get The Burning going against Final Chapter, that's going to be a little bit more of a struggle.
Yep. Okay. Maybe this is a good one. This is a good one for a struggle right here. Hellraiser versus A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Hellraiser's a 2 seed. Nightmare on Elm Street is a 7 seed.
Easily the hardest one, but I got to go Nightmare 4. Nightmare 4 is my favorite nightmare in the franchise. I love Hellraiser. Like, I really love Hellraiser a lot. But I just got a chance to sit down and have conversations with all the final ladies in Nightmare 4. And they were all so sweet and kind. And like I said, it's my favorite nightmare in the franchise. It's the one I grew up with. So my vote goes for Nightmare 4, man.
I dropped it in the chat, guys. Need to know what you guys think. I see Nightmare 4 love going on there. Some Hellraiser love. Honestly, Hellraiser, it's obviously good for what it is. It's gross and disgusting and sexy at the same time. Mm-hmm. Pinhead is a horror icon as well. But honestly, rewatchability factor, it's not really there for me personally.
I honestly prefer Hellraiser 2 over Hellraiser, honestly.
That's what most people say.
But I just think that Julia is one of the most underrated female villains of all time. Like, she's so sexy and seductive, and she's doing all this to be able to get her lover back. Like, I think she's an underrated villainess, but it's still Nightmare 4, man. Come on, Sheila, let's suck face. Come on, man, you can't beat that.
I thought a lot of people didn't like Nightmare 4, and I'm finding out a lot of people do.
I've always been like the weird one that liked Nightmare 4, and everybody was like, "Oh, the Dream Warriors." And I'm like, "Dream Warriors is great, but Dream Master is just it's got everything to me." So, yeah, Nightmare 4 for me would trump Hellraiser. And if Ashley was here, which I know she wishes she was, she would agree. She's not a Hellraiser fan at all.
I'm right there with you. I prefer the Dream Master over the Dream Warriors as well. So, and I know Nick from the Lost River Drive-In feels the same way as we do. He likes the Dream Master over Dream Warriors. I love Alice so much.
Yeah.
And the Dream Master, she's fantastic. In that one scene when it keeps going around the diner over and over and over again, for some reason that scene just stands out to me so much compared to stuff in other movies. I don't know why, but it does.
Yeah.
And I love the Dream Master so much, and it's number 2 for me in the franchise, so it's definitely high regards. Hellraiser, on the other hand, I kind of prefer 3 myself, more of a slasher take on Pinhead and the Cenobites, and they're shooting CDs out of their face and stuff, so absolutely love that. I'm not the biggest Hellraiser guy to begin with, if I'm being honest. It's definitely kind of one of those franchises that's either you love it or you hate it. I don't know if there's really much in between. Some more people coming in. What's up, Raymond? How are you? Brother Fluff, what's going on, man? Lil Boozy says, hey, I'm late sliding in from out of the theater. What'd you see? Davey Deathray, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? Don't be sorry for being late. I know you're a busy dude, Davey. Okay, so let's go to the poll in the chat. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should let this poll go a little minute or two.
Come on, guys! If you haven't voted, cast your vote.
It's neck and neck right there. But unfortunately, no, this one was different. YouTube voted for Hellraiser, and Instagram voted for A Nightmare 4. So this one was split up. So it's gonna. Let me see. I'll give it another minute. You voted for Nightmare. I voted for... never mind. Doesn't even matter. It's tied right now, 50-50, though. Indecisive. Let's go. Somebody got to break it before I close it. There we go. I'll close it now.
You were just talking about how we haven't had a challenge yet. Now you got one that's 50-50.
I just ended it. I'm waiting for it to pop up at the bottom. There we go. Nightmare 4 wins 56% to 44%. 4-1. I really thought Hellraiser was going to win this one, if I'm being honest. I didn't think Nightmare 4 had this much love, but I guess it does. So Nightmare 4 is moving on to the next round, which so far that's 2 Nightmare movies that made it to the Slasher 16. So
right. It's
gonna end up being what I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be Nightmares going up against Fridays, going up against Halloween is what it's gonna be. You try to make it different. You try to make people choose other things.
Right.
And it always comes down to the big 3 every time. So I don't want to hear it. We got 28 people watching us. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah, if you guys are watching from the Sledgehammer stream, I don't know why, but the poll doesn't show up on mine. Bounce over to Fauci's stream and make sure you're voting on the polls, because bounce back and forth if you have to. Honestly, we're here to support Fauci, and you should be going to his channel and subscribing anyway if you haven't. So
thank you.
I'm just honored to be here, man. It's cool that I could share it out to my audience so we can get them to come in and maybe go over to your channel and be able to vote and do that type of stuff. So make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button when you go over there too, because it helps. You all know that.
It does. I appreciate it. We got the Dreaming Insomniacs. What's going on? Dynamite Tiger. What's up, buddy? Movie Metal Rock McDonald. What's going on? He says Skinless Julia has a cool makeup effect.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That whole movie is goopy and gross, man.
Ugh. Is it the first one or second one that has to deal with the mattress?
The second one.
Oh, God. It's disgusting.
When she's coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's coming back, all right. Ugh. Okay. Which one? We'll go this one right here. The original Friday the 13th versus a good old Fulci film, The New York Ripper, a little Italian horror for you Giallo fans out there. And he makes duck noises, which is just bizarre, but maybe some people like it. Let me see. Put it in the chat. Friday the 13th, by the way, was a 3 seed because critics love the original, and then it all goes downhill from there. And New York Ripper was an 11th seed. I've only seen that movie once, by the way. Let me see. Dropped it in the chat. Go ahead and vote, everybody. All right, Ken, which one are you leaning towards here?
I would love to say The Ripper, but man, Friday the 13th is such a special movie to me. While I'm not the biggest fan of the OG Friday the 13th, it's one of my, growing up, it was my favorite horror franchise. Right there with Child's Play. Like, they were always neck and neck. And without the original, we don't get what we have. So, and again, I know everybody thinks I'm a loser for it or whatever. I'm not a huge Giallo fan. Like, I respect it. You know, I think that, you know, I have I didn't grow up with it. You know, I came in so late to the party on Giallo that it's just, I think they do amazing things with colors. I think that they got a lot of good stories, but I'm a huge fan of Friday the 13th, and that Kevin Bacon kill is so good. So I'm going to go with Friday the 13th.
Like you said, not the biggest fan of Giallos either. I think coming that late to the party, I'm not. I try to watch them, but for the most part, they kind of don't make sense. Honestly, some of them, they're kind of confusing. It's fine. The kills are really cool. Italian kills are just way different than American kills in our movies, but the blood's a different color. It's freaking everywhere.
I love Brother Fluff. I hate anything from New York. I was born in Boston. I love that, man.
So he said, so screw that movie, he says.
Yeah.
Aaron Click said, I just can't stand poorly dubbed movies. Yeah, that's kind of takes away from the enjoyment of it as well, honestly. And like you said, Friday the 13th, the original, I mean, I wasn't really the biggest fan of that movie, but the more and more I watch it, the more I enjoy it and have a good time with it. Obviously, it's not like glitz and glam. It's dark and low budget, obviously, but like you said, we wouldn't have the rest of the franchise if we didn't have that first movie.
Right.
And it was a success. It made money, and Mrs. Voorhees, fantastic killer in her own right, even though we all come for Jason. But I mean, when you're watching that movie for the first time and then she shows up and you're like, her? That's the killer, the old lady? Very unexpected. Obviously, I mean, who really believes that she's the one throwing bodies through windows and pinning them on doors? But that's what Jason was for, because he was obviously there helping her. So
I just love Fretful. Friday remake is the best. Stupendous.
Stupendous. I love the remake. It's my top. It's in my top 5 at least. It's kind of like a love or hate thing with the remake. I mean, either high on people's lists or at the bottom of people's lists. There's really no in between.
That's true.
On that one. Obviously, our boy Cody Leach loves the remake. So
Roman Empire, I agree. Sleepaway over Friday. Cody's a huge fan of it, and I don't know. Like, I think the first, 15 minutes, 25 minutes is absolutely, white knuckle. And I wish that it would have stayed in that type of direction, but there's just so much wrong with it that I couldn't get all the way into it, man. So
I don't know. I'd love it for some reason. Sean Sheridan says Alice making tea for 10 minutes is the highlight. Yes, it is.
She's got all the Mrs. Voorhees' face, man.
What doesn't she throw in Mrs. Voorhees' face? She got the ball of yarn. She got kitty cat pillows, whatever.
Yeah, man.
It's doing some damage, You're really taking her out.
I don't know if you guys heard, man, but some news that just broke that's really cool. Our buddy Sean Chandler, you know Sean, right?
Yeah.
He was just accepted into the Critics' Choice Association.
Badass.
Dude, I'm so happy for him, man. Like, he's a genuine dude. Like, and it's just, I just saw that. I'm so proud of him, dude. Like, for as shitty as today was, I get to hang out with you and talk to you. Sean just got accepted into that. Like, holy crap, dude. Like, this is so cool.
Sean kills it, man. He's 100% professional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has a good time. And where he came from to what he's doing now is just fantastic.
Right.
And I couldn't believe he would even come on my channel when he did back like about a year ago. But took the time. He's a a big YouTube channel in this space for sure.
Yeah.
And take his time of day to come on a smaller channel like this. He's a good dude. He's a genuine good dude.
He's one of those guys because, like, yeah, we've had him on My First Horror Movie, and he's one of those guys that's just like, I love the genre, I love the community, and I want to give back the way that people did for me.
He's a good guy. Congratulations, Sean. I'm sure he's a grinder. That's what he does.
I'm proud of him, dude. Like, he's living a dream, and it's so overwhelmingly cool to see it happen to a good dude. One of the people that really deserve it is getting it, and that's so sick.
Wait, where'd it go? There it is. Brother Fluff says, I bumped into Sean in Tampa. Very nice guy.
Awesome. Yeah. We've already made plans. Me, him, and Cody. We're hitting Fantastic Fest next year, man. I've got to go. I've got to be with those guys for a couple days. I consider them really good friends now, and I got to do this shit in person, man. I can't do it remotely anymore.
I'm working on hooking up with Nick from Lost River Drive-In, since he doesn't live that far away from me. So hopefully, very soon we'll be able to actually meet up in person. But he wants to go to a Steeler game, so I hate the Steelers with a passion. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but I guess I could go.
Go and root against them.
That's what I do. That's what I do every Sunday. Movie Metal Rock McDonald said the characters in Friday the 13th play strip Monopoly was hilarious to me. How does that even work?
That's what I was saying.
How does strip Monopoly work? You know how long it would take for you to get to that point, because you got to go buy the hotels and the houses. So you'd have to play it for hours.
I've already passed go at that point. I'm done.
I don't know if I've ever actually finished a game of Monopoly in my whole life, to be honest. It takes
forever. It always ends with someone flipping the board because they're pissed off. That's how it ends. This is what I think of your thimble.
Yeah, and trying to play it with kids is just, it's not going to happen. Got to count their money for them, and no.
Oh, that's why I'm the banker. Oh, another 500. Oh.
All right, let's do this. This is the biggest blowout of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Friday the 13th, all around the board, 94% to 6%.
Yeah.
So, nothing, 5-0. New York Ripper didn't have a chance. I don't even know who it beat the first time, but yeah. It's not going to beat the OG. Like I said, it's Friday the 13th and versus the other big three, because that's all anybody cares about. And people want original content and original this and original that, but they keep going back to the OG horror icon, so I don't want to hear about it.
Right.
We need a Friday the 13th movie soon. But
please,
I don't know
God.
what's going to happen. I know the TV got a new showrunner, but has there been any other updates on that?
2025. They are looking for Halloween 2025.
Isn't the Halloween TV show coming out at some point too?
Yeah.
You're not excited for that?
I'm not. How many times can you tell the same story? Like, if it's going to be a Halloween TV series, man, I hope that Michael becomes Michelle and she's a black transgender non-binary person. Just to piss everybody off.
Gotta have a different mask. Happy, what's up, Happy Sanjo? How are you doing, buddy? One of the great members on the channel. How's your channel going, buddy? Hope it's going well.
Come here.
Let me see. Get you out of there. Let me delete this next one. Okay. We got 2 matchups left. I think both are pretty fun. Let's see. Get out of here. Where did we go? Okay. We'll save the best one for last. Right now, this is a fun one, actually. We're going to go Halloween 4 versus Sleepaway Camp 3. Yes, Sleepaway Camp 3 moved on to the second round out of the first round. I know. Probably shouldn't have, but there it is. And I don't think it's going to have a shot in this matchup right now. But no. I gotta put the poll in the chat because that's how it works.
As much as I was just talking shit on Halloween, I love Halloween 4, man. If I could see a movie where an innocent drunk guy is shot taking a piss like Ted Hollister, I'm in, man. Oh, shit, Earl. You shot Ted Hollister.
He wasn't even minding his own business, taking a pee. He's dead.
Oh, it's just so funny.
Did he have a mask on? Because if not, he looked just like Michael Myers outside of a costume. So good for him.
Well, that's the thing. It was actually William Shatner that was out there taking the piss. Ted Hollister played by William Shatner. So,
oh shit,
yeah.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp 3 was fun, actually. I enjoyed it. I thought it was stupid, but it was fun. Happy Sanjo says, I walked into black, transgender, non-binary without no context, laughing my ass off. You don't need to know. You don't need to know. Yes, I know Halloween has been told to death. It has, but you can't tell me it doesn't matter if they come out with a Halloween movie today, tomorrow, next week, next month. People are going to be there and they're going to be watching it. It doesn't really matter.
Of course.
It's Halloween. And then, of course, afterwards, they'll bitch about it and hate it and talk shit on it and destroy it. But it'll be there. It'll make its money. Halloween 4, guys. Halloween 4? One of the best in the franchise. Kind of a soft reboot, if you will, of the original. Obviously, it's kind of the same plot, just a different babysitter. Everybody loves Danielle Harris, obviously, is Jamie. Yeah. Rachel, people prefer her over Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. Hear it all the time. They wish this movie would get a requel. I don't think that's ever going to happen because it's kind of very specific.
If you're going to give this movie a requel, you need to completely ignore the events of 5 and 6.
Yeah, unless you want a Thorn cult problem.
No,
you're going to eliminate the Thorn.
get rid of them.
No.
Like, I would love to see a requel pick up, 30 years after the events of Halloween 4 with Jamie still being in the mental institution, and it's her that Michael imprinted on and not Corey. If you can go and, have her like that ending, how they, totally retcon that ending for 5. I think that would have been fantastic, if they did a requel. And she said she wants to come back and redo that role. So let's make that happen. Like I said, but if you're going to do that, that would be a great TV series. Have the TV series pick up with Jamie Lloyd and not Michael. And I get that people would be pissy, like, it's Halloween, we need Michael. No, we don't. We don't. Like, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't like the Corey was doing all the killing in Halloween Ends, and I thought he was doing a banger job of killing people. I'm just saying. Halloween Ends is obviously one of my favorite in the franchise. It still gets hated on till to this day. One day people will like it. One day. Sean Sheridan, you're right. Retcon Halloween 5, Nick would cry. Nick would cry because he loves that movie so much. Halloween 5 is nostalgic for me. I mean, obviously it was on AMC Fear Fest all the time. It comes on right after 4. You can't not watch it, even if it's dog shit. You still gotta watch it.
I don't mind. I don't mind 5.
No,
6, I hate 6. 6 is in like my least favorite movies of all time.
The atmosphere in 6 is great. Michael's brutal in 6 for sure. I'm more of a producer's cut guy, which is not what most people like to enjoy, but I like it. It gives a little more context to the goofy shit that's going on. But it's not one I would rewatch in the franchise very often.
Right.
Maybe during Halloween time, of course, because you watch them all for the most part. Especially 2 times of Resurrection, because it's just that good. But besides that, you know what I mean? Do you watch Resurrection at all? Do you rewatch that for like Halloween time, or you skip that one?
I watch it every year.
Every year?
I like Resurrection.
Never mind.
Honestly.
Sorry.
No, like, honestly, like, I think that is Resurrection like a good Halloween franchise movie? No. But it's a fun movie for me. Like, I have so much fun with this movie, and it's so over the top and stupid and ridiculous that I just have fun with it. Like, I really have a great time with Resurrection.
I'm assuming that's on my channel, but I'm not really sure.
Yep.
That's mine. Sean Sheridan, thanks, buddy. Appreciate the super chat. Really do appreciate it. You know what? Where's it at? We will give you a good old-fashioned one of these, my friend.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. let me see. I thought I saw a comment in here I wanted to see. Cal says, I seen Resurrection in theaters. It's special for me. I saw it in theaters too. And then I got it for a Christmas gift that same Christmas because I liked it so much. And I don't like it now, but I mean, if it's on TV, if it's on
people grow and people change. That's just how it goes. But
I'll watch it.
It's one of those movies that I think, I don't know, like I went into this movie with zero expectations because I was furious they were making it in the first place because I thought H2O had the perfect ending. And I just had so much fun with it. I just remember being like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we could really do that with cameras and go to parties and show people that weren't at parties how we do this? Like, and then like, look at us now. It's like, so
we do it now.
Yeah. So I had fun with it. It's one of Ashley's favorites in the franchise, honestly.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a soft spot for both of us growing up with it. And that was the first horror movie she saw in theaters.
Okay.
And so, like, growing up together and then, being able to watch her appreciate it every year, I think gave me a bigger appreciation for it, too. Justin, you motherfucker.
Still better than Jason Goes to Hell. Never forget it. Honestly, if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Halloween 6 as well. But it's because I'm a Michael guy.
Say it again.
I'm a Michael Halloween 6 over Jason Goes to Hell. 100%. I got mine somewhere around here. I don't know where it's at though. Let me see. I liked Halloween 5 as a kid, but now I really don't like it. It has its. I have to watch it. Nostalgia reasons. Davey Death Race is one of those sickos that really enjoys Curse, especially the producer's cut. Well, I'm right there with you because I like the producer's cut.
Davey.
Little Boozy likes Halloween 6 as well. Blu-ray Addict enjoys Halloween 6 as well. I think you're on an island with Halloween 6.
I am, man. I'm in the minority here, which is fine. And again, like I said, I'm jealous that you guys like it. I don't want to dislike anything. I want to like everything. Life would be so much better if I did, but man, like I said, I'm jealous. I wish I did.
Paul Rudd ruined H6. Get me a doctor now. And then he walks out of the hospital with the baby. He's a kidnapper. He's such a creep in that movie, but I love Paul Rudd, so
he is.
What are you gonna do?
And he still looks the exact same today.
He does. He doesn't age at all.
He's a saint, man. Like, there's something just so special about Paul Rudd that I love.
Go ahead in the poll because that is just over, obviously. Halloween 4, 93% to 7%. Obviously, YouTube and Instagram also said Halloween 4, and me and you also say Halloween 4. 5-0. What a surprise.
Roman, yes, I would. I would love to see Paul Rudd to return to... He was going to return to Halloween Ends. I don't know if people know this or not. Look this up. He was in talks to return in Halloween Ends, and he chose Ghostbusters Afterlife instead.
Well,
so...
I mean... I'm assuming Ghostbusters Afterlife probably made more money, right?
Kills. I'm sorry. Halloween Kills, not Halloween Ends. Halloween Kills. I apologize.
I was going to say Halloween Ends.
No, he was rumored to come back in Halloween Kills. But I of course, I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd made Clueless amazing too. Paul Rudd is he's such a fantastic actor, and I love everything Paul Rudd does. And if I got the chance to watch him in anything, I'm going to take it.
He would have crawled into Michael's ass and turned into Ant-Man, and he would have exploded him just like I said.
I just want to say, I think I downloaded the wrong Halloween Kills.
Paul Rudd. Oh my gosh. Him saying Evil dies tonight. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Evil dies tonight now. I'm like, okay, Paul. Sure does, buddy. I think Marion says it worse anyway. Evil dies tonight.
Yeah, I've never, dude. Like, funny thing. Like, I always loved her. We went to Horror Hound, and she was just the rudest person on the planet, dude. She was terrible, and it really. And again, I don't want this to like change the way people think about her because maybe she was having a bad day. That's possible, but man, like she was so rude to everybody, and it was really disheartening because I was like, we've always, been a big fan of yours, and for you to come out and act like that was super, super disheartening.
Wow. I've never been to a convention yet, so I don't know how anybody is. Every time I say I'm gonna go, I never go. So
Right.
I just don't think it's my thing. If it was, I think I would have forced myself to go to one by now.
They're fun, dude. Like, I can't recommend it enough. Like, just the amount of people that you get to meet and get, like other creators and stuff that you get to spend some time with, and the interviews that you get to do. Like, we got media passes for Scarefest in Kentucky this month.
Hell yeah.
Next month. And very excited for when we get to go out there and, hang out with them. So I
did want to go there sometime.
I can't recommend it enough, man. It's totally worth it.
I see all the people that I collab with hanging out with other collabers, and I'm like, man, I want to do that.
It's fun
in real life. Let's see. We got one more left for the evening. I saved a doozy. This one could go either way. Friday the 13th Part 2 versus the OG The Hitcher. I know it's getting a fantastic 4K release coming up. Friday the 13th Part 2 just got a 4K release. Got a bunch of steelbooks. Let me go ahead and put this one in the chat. I'm interested to see what they're going to say about this one. I think I know where it's going to go, but you never know. And Friday the 13th is a 10th seed, and the Hitcher's the 2 seed, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So another big seed could go down. Because everybody loves Jason. Just saying. What do you think about the Hitcher? Is it a classic to you?
What I got pointed at you under the table, buddy. I love the Hitcher. I love the Hitcher. I love C. Thomas Howell in that movie. Yeah.
Here we go.
Man, I love both these movies.
Dropped it in the chat, everybody. Interested to see where this goes.
Man, this is a good one. Because I love Friday too. I really do. But The Hitcher is such a scary movie that's just so full of anxiety and fear. And man, this is a hard one. You know what? Because we've gotten so much love for the Friday the 13th franchise tonight, I'm going with The Hitcher. I'm going to go with the Hitcher. And I know it's the higher seed, but I think that this is going to be an upset for me. So I'm going with the Hitcher.
I've only seen the Hitcher once. I'm one of the people that prefer the remake over the original. I'm sorry, I know that's not.
Oh wow! See, I've never seen the remake.
I like it. I like who the hell's in that? Sean Bean and what's the girl's name? Sophia Bush. Okay. In the remake. I saw the remake first, so it probably has an effect on how I think about it. And the rules are reversed in the remake. It's instead of the dude being the final dude, it's a final girl. Okay. In the remake. I don't know. I need to rewatch the original. Like I said, I've only seen it once. I need to rewatch it again. Rutger Hauer is great, obviously, as John Ryder.
So good.
I prefer him in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, though, if I'm being honest. I'm just saying as Lothos, but that's just me. I'm a sucker for that movie. I just rewatched it again for no reason at all, because I don't know. I just love that movie. I'm a Friday the 13th Part 2 is my second favorite in the franchise. It was my number one, but it got replaced by something else. So, Stackhead Jason is fantastic. Ginny is fantastic. Final Girl. I love Paul. I love all the characters in that movie. Mark, Wheelchair Death, one of the best kills in the entire franchise.
Yeah,
for sure. And where the hell is it? And if you guys don't know what that is, I'll show it to you right now. Here we go.
Yes.
I hate that same thing happened to me last time I went to camp, and I've never been back since. Never.
The back of the machete at that.
Yep, it happens. When you make a mistake, and you still kill him because he died from a broken neck going down the steps. So they didn't tell you that part. Don't know where those steps came from because they weren't there earlier in the movie, but
right.
they're there now. I'm pretty sure last time that was only about 5 steps, not 500 steps. But one of my favorite kills in the whole franchise. Sebastian says, do you prefer the Sackhead from Part 2 or the remake?
I mean, Jason from the remake, I think, is my favorite Jason. He's a badass. He's a survivalist. He's intelligent. He's not just this big oaf walking around the woods. Like, he can run. He can shoot a bow and arrow. He traps people. Like, he's a badass. So I would have to say the remake. Yeah, just because that's the one saving grace about the remake to me is Jason and then Chewie and Lawrence. Those are the only things about the remake that I really, really love.
Chewie and Lawrence. I like their chemistry was good. I know people don't really like them that much either, but they kind of had the Ted and Jimbo vibes from the final chapter. Just kind of a little more generic, I guess. Jason a hater. Mark was about to get pie, and Jason, he was. That girl was really into the dude in the wheelchair because she just wanted to know if it worked, even though he was paralyzed. But sick. She's a nice lady, by the way. Laura Marie Taylor. I met her once. She was at my local theater. She came to watch Friday the 13th Part 2 with us.
Oh, nice.
Very nice lady. Had a little Q&A. She was doing a commentary as we watched it. Really, really cool that she came to my small town to do that.
Yeah.
She did talk about the brown panties. It's kind of just as what they had on set, to be honest, is what she said. It's just what happened to be there.
I want to say to Roman Empire real quick. Yeah, interviewing Tom Adkins at Horror Hound was absolutely amazing. That was big, but I think the biggest, and this is going to sound silly, but the highlight for me, honestly, was Lulu Wilson and Andy Matichak. They were both really dope. Like, they were very kind and sweet. And I told Andy Matichak, I was like, I've been saying your last name wrong for years, so I'm sorry. I've been calling you Andy Matichak for years, and I'm so sorry.
Me too.
You know, it is Matichak. I always ask people, like, before we interview, like, is this how I say your name? And she's like, it's actually Matichak. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I asked, so I didn't look like a fucking idiot.
Oh my god, I love Andy Matichak very much.
Great. She's great. But yeah, Lulu Wilson, Tom Adkins, Andy, and then Kevin Durand was so nice. Like, and he treated Ashley with so much respect. So got a lot of love for him. And then Alicia Weir, the young lady that played Abigail, she actually gave a shout out to my daughter, Kenley, because Kenley's favorite movie is Abigail, and she's going to be Abigail for Halloween. And so she gave a little video shout out to Kenley.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I mean, Abigail is my favorite movie of the year, so.
Really?
That's
yeah.
freaking awesome, dude.
I just heard a bunch of people, Cody and a couple other people, tell me that The Heretic is the best movie of the year. So I'm very excited to see it, man.
It's so weird because the movies of the year for people just as soon as a new one comes out, boom, that's my new favorite. And the next one comes out, screw that one. This is my new favorite now.
I'm still in the minority that Trap is my favorite.
Oh my god.
I loved it. I loved it, man.
Wanted to love it. I did. And I watched it and I was like, I hate this movie.
I know. And I know a lot of people that are like, Ken, you're on drugs. And I'm like, I used to be. But no, I still like this movie. I still think it's fantastic. I think it's a great character study. And I love a movie where I'm rooting actively for the villain throughout 90% of the runtime.
I don't know. I love Josh Hartnett. I do. Faculty, 30 Days a Night, H2O. I love him, but I did not like him in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like him. I know he was supposed to probably act that way, but I did not like it. I didn't like his performance at all. And I know that was a lot of people saving grace for the movie, but for me, it did not work.
See, I'm one of the people that the third act was my favorite part of the movie. Once they got out of the concert and he was back home, that's where I think the movie really took off for me.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. I don't know. I really thought it was going to be my favorite of the year, but it was not. Let me end this poll real quick, and then we can continue that. You said the Hitcher.
Yeah.
The chat, unfortunately, 71% Friday the 13th Part 2.
I figured.
YouTube, Friday the 13th Part 2. Instagram, same. And myself, Friday the 13th Part 2. another high seed goes down, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Number 2 seed eliminated. So from tonight's episode, moving on to the Slasher 16, we have Friday the 13th Part 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, Halloween 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Burning, Sleepaway Camp 2, very surprising still, but it's still there, the Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, and the OG Friday the 13th. So, 1, 2, 3 Friday the 13th movies.
There's 2 movies that aren't part of the big 3 franchise now, right now. The Burning and Sleepaway Camp 2 are the only 2 movies that aren't part of the big 3, man. That's great. I love it.
It's how it always is going to be, unfortunately. Now, I'm excited to see where they shape up. But I won't know that until I finish my episode with Lee, which is coming up next week. What is next week? Next week is, what's the dates? Third week of the 30th. And then I think also next week will be another episode. It'll be the second round episode with Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. So we will finish off the Slasher 16, and that'll be his second time appearing in this tournament. Because
2 of my favorites together again.
He's my buddy, and I love having him on. We definitely have a unique chemistry for sure because we disagree a lot on pretty much almost every movie for the most part. So it's good to have that back and forth. And he seems much older than he actually is. At least I think so, because he's a lot younger than me, but he seems way smarter than me and wiser. So we let him do most of the talking when he comes on. That's for sure. But yeah, what were we talking? Oh, we're talking about Trap and movies of the year. What else? We watched Cuckoo the other day. It was, I don't know what to think of that movie, to be honest. I really don't.
It's all right.
It's fine. Most of the good stuff in the trailer of like most movies, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was fine.
Dan Stevens, which I love seeing Dan Stevens now that I know who he is, because I didn't before, but I do now. I thought he was great in that as well. The accents were kind of like, stop. But it was fine. What else did I watch recently? I heard somebody in the Night Swim is number 1 for the year. I saw somebody say, but they were obviously joking because it's not good. But you probably like that movie too. So
I did not like Night Swim. I like the idea of Night Swim. I did not like the execution of Night Swim.
Oh God, those are. You don't like the ending when the dad just walks into the swimming pool and then they're just like, oh well.
Dude, and I wanted to like that movie because I'm such a big baseball fan. So when I heard that there was a horror movie that incorporated a lot of baseball into it, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I'm super stoked to check this out. And I watched it and I was like, what the fuck? And the Russell kid, like, he does a great job in it. You know, Kurt Russell's kid. I can't think of his first name. But I mean, he did great with what he had. But
yeah.
For me this year so far, I would say Trap is number 1. And then I'm looking through the list of what we've seen. You know what? We just watched a movie for Fantastic Fest called Strange Harvest, Occult Murder in the Inland Empire. And that was if you like Forensic Files, it's like an episode of, it's like if you like true crime shit, it's literally like an episode of Forensic Files, and it's played so good. Sting was another one I liked a whole lot this year.
I wanted to.
You didn't like it?
It was fine. I preferred Infested though, if you've seen that one.
Sure, I have not seen it yet.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really a foreign film kind of guy, but
yeah,
I hate spiders with a passion, and that movie had me itching my skin every 5 seconds. It was good. Necronomical, what's up, man? You're always on Davy's channel. What's going on?
Love Necro.
The Substance. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I know people keep talking about it.
I need to see it. Shockingly, I really, really liked The Americans Speak No Evil, and I didn't think I would. And I really, really liked it a lot. Like, I was really surprised leaving the theater how much I really liked that movie.
Did you see the original?
Oh yeah, I was angry after watching that movie.
Okay, so I'm not alone. As the movie continues, and they just let them people do whatever they want, and then take their freaking kid, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And then they keep going along with what they say because they don't want to be rude or whatever the point of that whole movie was.
Right.
Yeah, that made me.
I guess that's for real a cultural thing over there. And so like that's why they played it like that. What I will say about the remake, I'm not gonna spoil it for people that haven't seen it. The original is a better made film. It is a better film. I'll never watch the original again. I saw it, never. And I will never ever watch it again. The remake, I would repeat view watch this movie. Like there's things about this movie that I love. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of darkness to the remake, the American version. A lot of darkness, but I would go and rewatch this one again. But the original, Danish Speak No Evil, did something to me that I don't ever have to sit down and see it again.
Nope. Okay. I wanted to make sure that other people had the same feeling I did when they watched that. Oh, yeah.
Great movie, but it's just not a movie that I would ever, ever, ever watch again. Never.
Very depressing.
Dude, I was like, I would be at work like a week later and just be like, that he got out of the car. He took a piss and you just sat there. Like, why didn't you do something?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys want to watch it for like a first time watch, I mean, go ahead, I guess.
Right.
You're in for a depressing movie. That's for sure. What else? Cal L. Daly says The Watchers and The Strangers came out. I may be in the minority here, but I actually kind of dug The Watchers, to be honest. I didn't hate it. Interesting premise. Mm-hmm. A movie about fairies. I think they're fairies, I think.
Yeah, they never really made it clear. They called them fairies at one point, but then they went on to talk about how, when they got their wings cut off, and it went to a bunch of different directions after that.
It was weird. I didn't hate it though. I was intrigued from the beginning to the end. Is it one of my best of the year? No, but I didn't hate it. And surprisingly, The Strangers Chapter 1, as much hate as it gets, I kind of liked it. Yes, it was the original again. It was different in some ways. I mean, people didn't like the two main characters. I didn't hate them. I didn't think they were any worse than the first two, in my opinion. I didn't hate it.
It could be saved by what they had to retell that first story in order to continue a trilogy. You couldn't just go off of what happened in the first one because the ages would have been so much different. And, so you had to retell that story. But obviously they're not too big on it because they were like, hey, it's coming out in the fall, and we're like, hey, it's almost fall, and we still don't have a trailer.
That's what I was gonna ask. I mean, you're more up to the know and that kind of stuff. Is it not coming out then?
If I had to take a guess, which is weird because it's still one of the highest grossing horror films of the year. Last I knew, it was at least in the top 5. So for them not to release it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think they'll shelf it. I think if worse comes to worse, they'll either do it at the beginning of next year and put it as like a January release where they dump all the shit that they don't think is going to succeed.
Yeah, they do.
Or it'll go straight to streaming. They'll put this one on Peacock or HBO Max. Do something like that. But for them to film all 3 of these movies and then scrap all 3 of them after the first one was still one of the highest grossing horror films of the year doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I'm down. I'm looking forward to both of them when they come out. I don't as much as people hated the first one. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do differently with the next 2. And I heard they're going to bring in more strangers than the 3 that they have, is what I read. They're going to probably have 2 more other ones, I think, so 5 total. It's kind of getting a little hand with the strangers because there's a whole bunch. Like, it's going to end up being the whole town. Obviously, the way that movie's going is what I'm guessing.
That's what I think too.
But I'm down to watch it regardless.
Well, just so I'm not talking out of my ass, the highest ranking, and this is crazy to me, the highest ranking horror movie so far is Day 1, A Quiet Place, was the highest grossing. Number 2 was Alien Romulus, and I thought Alien would have beaten A Quiet Place. Number 3 was Long Legs, and number 4 was The Strangers Chapter 1. So I mean, it's
Long Legs, what a banger.
But like I said, when I had looked at this list a lot of these newer films overtook it. But you had the 4th highest grossing horror film of the year, and you're going to shelf it because, you know what I mean? Like, that does not make sense to me.
Just put it out. It'll make it going to be that high of a budget. It's going to make its money back probably regardless.
Exactly.
Unless you're The Crow, and then you don't. But that's a different story. Which, by the way, I didn't hate The Crow either, so...
Never saw it.
I don't have attachment to the first one, so this one wasn't like, why are you doing that? Don't do that. No, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, The Strangers' budget was 8.5, and its box office was 47.8.
made it back in spades.
You made $40 million on this movie. They are not going to shelf 2 or 3. I'll be absolutely befuddled if they shelf those movies.
Like you said, if anything, maybe it might get pushed back because there's a lot of horror bangers coming out the rest of the year, and they probably don't want to compete with them.
Want to put them up against them, yeah.
It'd be smart for them financially just to wait.
I'm actually looking to see if they got a release on it yet.
Sebastian says, are we excited for Terrifier 3? I'm also not the biggest Terrifier fan either. So
the Terrifier movies aren't great, but Art the Clown is an icon.
He's growing on me. I mean, when you go to Spirit Halloween and my little 4-year-old says it's Art the Clown, I mean, even he knows who he is. No, he hasn't watched those movies because they're a little too gruesome for my 4-year-old to watch. But
I mean, now they got I mean, he's in what Call of Duty now or something.
Is he?
What, Art the Clown?
What the hell is that other game called?
So I know Art the Clown, Sam, and Michael Myers just got put in something.
Really? I was gonna say Dead by Daylight. I know Michael Myers was in. I didn't know.
No, it's not. It's not a horror.
No.
Call of Duty. Yep.
Really?
Michael Myers, Sam, Art the Clown joined Call of Duty.
That's
The Haunting, season 6. So yes, you can. So like I said, 3 people. I would have guessed Michael, but I would have never ever guessed Sam from Trick or Treat or Art the Clown.
No.
Would be the other 2. I would have gone with a hard like Chucky, Jason, Freddy, Ghostface. You know.
Let's. Little Boozy says my favorite movie this year is Lisa. I'm assuming Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And Abigail's Late Night with the Devil. I didn't like that movie. I wish I did. Everybody loves Late Night with the Devil. I watched it and was like, I just think it's just boring. But that was just me.
I loved Late Night with the Devil too.
Just me. That's like we said, it's a good thing because we shouldn't all like the same thing because it'd just be really boring.
Right.
We'd obviously agree. But this year, I'm kind of turning into Nick and liking all the weird shit that most people hate, which is not how I usually am.
See, like some of the ones that I did not like this year that I know a lot of people liked, I could not stand. Let me go through here real quick. I did not like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I did not like The First Omen. I thought it was just okay. I gave that a 2 out of 5.
I gave it 2.5.
Did not like Tarot. Could not stand In a Violent Nature.
Thank you. The kill was cool, but that was about it.
That's it. Yeah. I thought Oddity was just okay.
I started it. I couldn't finish it.
I Saw the TV Glow is the best movie ever made that I didn't like. I can't stand I Saw the TV Glow, but it was so good. Like the movie was such a great movie. It's a awesome movie, great movie, and it's one of those ones where I'm like, why am I not getting into this? Like the cinematography is beautiful, the score is amazing, the soundtrack is dope, the acting is great. I just can't get into it, and I don't know why. I think that's about it for me. That I was just like, I know a lot of people loved that. I was just like, it's all right, it's okay.
Roman Empire. Ken did see Speak No Evil. He had.
I did, and I did like it.
Let me see. Lil Boozy says, Infested rules. I watched it on a basic laptop screen and jumped a few times. I need to watch that movie. I've had so many people tell me to watch it, and I need to. The ones I really need to watch is that one and that new they were just talking about in the chat, and I literally can't. Oh, Maxine.
What were you talking about? Maxine was all right.
I don't know. The more I sit on it, I really, really dug it.
The ending pissed me off way too much. I did not like the third act reveal. Like, I got really pissed at the because then you start thinking about some of the things that he did and watched, and you're like, "What?" I'm not gonna spoil it for people. As a father, I was like, "What the fuck is going on, man?"
Way different than one. The X and Pearl, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, and which is cool because X and Pearl are 2 completely different movies, so I dig that.
Hated Pearl.
Wait a minute, what is that movie that you guys were just talking about with Demi Moore?
The Substance.
Yeah, The Substance. I gotta check that out. I have everybody blowing me up. Like, please check that out. I loved the ending of someone just asked me. Immaculate. I love the ending of it. The rest of it was slow. You know, Sydney Sweeney is beautiful and she's a great actor.
Yes, she is.
And and I love the ending. The ending really shocked me, like really took me by surprise. But I mean, it was good. I mean, I liked it more than I liked the first Omen. You know,
I started Immaculate. I watched some of it. I said, screw it. I just want to get to the end of what people were talking about, the scene. And I was like,
See, and I think that people talked more about the scene in First Omen, like the birthing scene. I think got more talk than the rest of the movie.
God, I wanted to love the first Omen. I'm a huge Omen fan.
No.
Watched it. My wife leaned over and was like, "Is this gonna get any better?" I was like, "I don't know. I really don't." I mean, the third act was fine, and then they go to the cabin and like they gave him a name too. It's Damien, and I was like, "Oh no, no way! It's crazy."
See, I don't like prequels. Like, I'm not a prequel fan.
Good.
Especially in horror, unless it's a surprise prequel like Final Destination 5. You know, like I thought that was fantastic, but overall, I'm just not a prequel fan because I know who's in danger, I know who's safe. You know, like it's just Saw X is another exception. That was great. I love Strange Darling. I thought Strange Darling, it grew on me the more I thought about that movie, but it was kind of ruined for us. I thought the trailer gave away the twist. You know, like, and that's what. Have you seen Strange Darling, Matt?
I have not seen it, and I haven't watched the trailer, so I would just go and
don't watch the trailer. The trailer completely gives away the twist, and that's why, you know, actually I called the twist about 8 seconds into the movie, and I was like, "Oh, so this is what's happening," and she was like, "Yeah, now it makes sense." And then you get through it, and you're like, "Fuck, man, shit."
It's on the list. It's on the list. That was what we just started Afraid today. I know it's gonna be dog shit. It already is, but my wife wants to finish it, so I gotta finish it.
Apartment 7A is not a bad prequel. Our review will be coming out on that on Thursday. You'll be able to watch that on Paramount Plus on Friday. It's the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. It comes out Friday. Like I said, our review will be up on Thursday. To me, it felt like more of a remake of Rosemary's Baby than a prequel to Rosemary's Baby, if that makes any sense. But it's worth a watch for the ending alone. The ending, I was like, whoa. Like, did she go there with that? Like, holy shit.
I didn't. I've never seen Rosemary's Baby, so I don't even
really
know
dude, I mean, like, it's good. It's good.
It's slow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a slow guy at all, unfortunately. So probably wouldn't enjoy it. I'm not an Exorcist guy either, which is, oh no, he doesn't like The Exorcist. I just don't. I'm sorry.
The Exorcist 3 is better anyway.
Oh yeah, it is. Brad Dourif. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
one of the best jump scares of all time.
Oh, easily. So make sure you guys, if you have Paramount Plus, make sure you're checking out Apartment 7A on Friday. It starts with a bang and ends with a bang. Like, I will say that, like, there's a part right at the beginning of the movie where I was like, oh, holy shit. You know, but like, it's one of those movies it's severely unsettling throughout the whole movie. Like, the whole movie, you're just like, you feel uncomfortable and unsettled, and it did its job. Like, it's not a bad movie. It's just, again, I'm not a huge prequel guy because I know who's safe and who isn't. So, but you've never seen Rosemary's Baby, so
no,
you might really like Apartment 7A then, because you don't know anything about Rosemary's Baby.
I'll give it a watch. Cal says, I didn't hate the new Candyman, but the new Crow might be pushing it. I didn't like the new Candyman, so I didn't hate the Crow. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hate it.
I haven't seen the Crow, so I can't give my opinion because it's not out on VOD yet that I've seen. And I thought the new Candyman was fine. It surprised me knowing that it was when we found out it was a sequel and not a remake. Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Is dinner ready? Is dinner here?
Cal. Oh, excited for the new Scream spinoff. Is that a real thing? I've heard people talk about it, and it's going to be Hayden Panettiere battling.
It's rumored. I haven't heard anything set in stone yet.
I don't know how I feel about it. Let me run through the chat real quick. Get you out of here for the night. Let me see. Some love for Late Night with the Devil. Ty says I didn't like Long Legs or Cuckoo. Long Legs was fantastic, and that's not even that was a slow burn. But
I can't talk about I wanted to see more of a certain character in Long Legs. That's all I'll say. I wanted more. No, Aaron, I have not seen The Coffee Table. I've heard great things. I just have not seen it.
Yeah, and I heard what it was about, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. So I'm not going to watch it.
Is there a lot of SA stuff in it?
That I don't know. The only thing I heard of, I don't even want to say what happens because then that kind of spoils the whole movie. So
okay, yeah.
But yeah, what happens I don't like, and I don't know if I want to watch that. So okay. Paul Draw says, yeah, Art the Clown was in both Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 3.
Cool.
A lot of love for the substance. We're gonna have to get on that.
I gotta watch it, man. It's not playing anywhere near me, so I gotta find a theater that's playing it.
It's playing at mine, but it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and I probably don't have time to go watch that, unfortunately. So I'm waiting to see if I can stream it somewhere on from my sources that I have that I shouldn't have, but I do anyway. That's how I watch most of my horror movies because I don't get to go to the theater that often with all the kids, so it kind of makes it hard. Yep, Freddie Prinze Jr. returning for I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not sure how to feel about that either, Roman Empire, to be honest with you. I don't know how I feel about it. They're just trying to milk every franchise they can. So, just real quick. Manny's Manic Media, what's going on? He says The Substance, Strange Darling, Cuckoo, Long Legs, and Hellhole. What's Hellhole? I don't know what that
Hellhole's
is.
on Shudder. That's funny. Our interview with the hold on, sweetheart. Our interview with the composer of Hellhole comes out on Saturday. Sean Dahlberg.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he's a great guy. And we just got to interview him about Hellhole and stuff. We did a My First Horror Movie episode, but we talked a lot about Hellhole, and that comes out on Saturday. And it's a very good movie. Hellhole's a really good movie.
Hellhole. I'll have to. There's so many movies to write down, and just not enough freaking time with football every freaking day of the week.
I get it.
Yeah, I know you do. I got 3 in it right now, so it's kind of fucking like an everyday thing. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah.
But an hour and a half, I think that's good enough to let you go and get out of here. Appreciate you coming on and spending time with me to do this and doing the tournament and then just shooting the shit. I really do.
Of course,
appreciate
man.
It. Always a pleasure. Everybody in the chat on both channels wouldn't be doing
Remember,
this
if you came here from Sledgehammer Horror, click over to Fauci's channel real quick, Fauci Cinema, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. He's doing some of the best streams, man.
Thanks, buddy.
And he's a workhorse. Like he's always, I always pride myself on being friends with the people that are so hardworking in the genre, and the dude's putting out content constantly, man. He's and like I said, being a father on top of that. So make sure you guys are subscribing, checking out his stuff, because he's more than deserving of all your attention. So please make sure you're checking him out.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And everybody that's on my channel, if you're not already, go subscribe to Sledgehammer Horror as well. Link is down in the description box. The channel's blowing up over there. Him and Ashley are killing it. Great people. Like most of the horror community, I really don't run into too many bad ones, to be honest. Everybody I work with is great. Ken and Ashley are no. What's the fucking
Thank
word?
you, Big Rod.
They're freaking great. Everybody, thanks for hanging out in the chat. Hit the like on the way out if you're on my channel or if you're on Ken's. We appreciate it very, very much. I will be back Sunday night with the one and only Lee McCoy from Drum Dums. Finishing up the first round. I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, this is the second round. Yeah, I'm behind, okay? Shit happens. But I'll be back to finish that up, and then I'll also be back with Nick from the Lost River Drive-In, my boy, for another round next week. So hit the like on the video, and I will see you guys next time. Ken, you are a legend, brother, and thinking about you, buddy. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to get out of here with this one right here. See you guys.